So with the SoundMagic E10s, the company absolutely destroyed the sub £30 earphone market. Can they make another home run with the SoundMagic E80s? To say I was excited for this review would be a giant understatement. Considering that the E10s were one of my favourite earphones of all time, you can imagine how pumped I was for this. The E80s are not the kind of earphones that are just going to sweep you off your feet on first glance, but the more you use them, the more you start to realise the thought and effort that's gone into designing them, and their sophistication is almost second to none. I'm not a huge fan of the way the E80s look. They're definitely not ugly, but I just prefer something with a more aggressive design language. But seeing as this is so subjective, I'm not exactly going to rate it for this. But as soon as we start to look at the way it's built and the way it feels, this starts to look like a pretty sweet deal very, very quickly. The earphones have a strong, rugged feel, but at the same time they're luxurious. They fit in the ear like a glove. It's an extremely snug fit with great isolation. The cable is sleek and attractive, but still manages to possess all the anti-tangle properties you'd want. The SoundMagics are packaged and presented beautifully, coming with more accessories than you'd even ever think about using. There's a really nice hard case. It's protective, it's strong, and it's fairly pleasing to the eye. And inside that, we have a huge number of silicone ear tips, all the standard ones, and then some double flange tips, triple flange tips, in all sorts of varying sizes. And it gets even better, we also have some premium comply foam tips. So if we actually look at the item listing on the website, it talks about how they have a consistent and balanced sound and harmonious stereo separation without overemphasis of any frequencies. With that said, let's just dive straight into a sound test.
Sorry I kept you waiting forever and a day, but now we're out here together with nothing standing in our way. Can you feel the attraction?
Okay, forget 100. If you have good amount of burn-in time, some high quality music files, and a good device to actually play them from, these things are probably some of the best sounding earphones under £200. They do have a balanced sound with a slight more emphasis on bass than perhaps a neutral sound signature. They're very transparent with a precise but energetic sound signature. You hear a lot of background details here, and the only real difference between these earphones and my Dunu Top Sound 2000s, which cost around $350 at retail, is just a tiny bit more noise in these ones. I think the differences would be almost unperceivable to someone who isn't actually listening to them side by side and doesn't have a trained ear. I have to say I'm very impressed with the SoundMagic E80s. They deliver on everything they promised, apart from maybe the neutral sound signature, but they sound great either way. As well as being comfortable, these are masters of noise isolation, cancelling up to 95% of ambient noise with your music at about 50%. They're strong, they have anti-tangle properties, and they come with tons of accessories. After spending about half an hour trying to get the perfect fit with the foam ear tips, I just decided they weren't for me, but they could fit someone else better. But the only thing that really upset me about the SoundMagic E80s is their lack of inclusion of a remote and mic, which prevented me from making these my daily driver earphones. Now I do realise these are meant for sort of studio quality listening, and so generally the main market is for people who are listening at home. But for people who just want the convenience of being able to sort of take these out on the go, and being able to sort of skip tracks while running or while sitting on a train without having to take your phone out your pocket, that is just one thing that is missing. But if that's not an issue for you, then I can't recommend the E80s enough. They are amazing. Thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more.